we hit that ground, we're hitting it running, right? If you're not tuned in, you're not focused, you're gone.
If you argue with the referee one more time, don't, you're coming up. And boys, you've 20 minutes till you're in an all-ireland semi-final if you get it right.
It's the feeling, the difficulty, the challenge that it brings.
St Paul's Academy is a Catholic comprehensive school in Abbey Wood, one of South East London's toughest areas. There are 110 teachers and over 1,000 pupils at St Paul's, mostly drawn from surrounding areas of Abbey Wood, Thamesmead and Woolwich. Sport of all kinds is at the heart of life at St Paul's. The school prides itself on its sporting achievements, and Principal Pat Winston believes that sporting performance and academic excellence go hand in hand.
Well done, Mike.
This is what we're about. Yeah, we take our teams out irrespective of sport. Losing is not an option. We bring that into school life, not just in terms of success in a football match or a netball match, but bring it into our learning as well. We aim for the best.
In the past, pupils at St Paul's were the children of Irish immigrants.
I describe myself as being an Irish person, and I'm very proud of my roots. And I'm proud of my roots because of the limited opportunities my parents got. My father left school at 12. My mother emigrated from the west of Ireland when she was 16.
These days, the demographics of the area around St Paul's have changed, meaning the majority of the school's pupils come from African families.
Sometimes parents from ethnic minority groups say, "Oh, Mr. Winston, you must be related to Churchill." And I say, no, I'm like you. I'm the son of economic migrants.
The school's Irish heritage remains strong. Pat Winston's two passions for sport and Irish culture have led him to set up a Gaelic football team at St Paul's.
It's our first session today, so the aim is to open their lungs out and get them back involved with Gaelic football. It's probably something they've not done for the best part of a year, so we need to get back in, teach them the basic skills.
The plan is to build an under-14 team that can compete at the Féile Peil competition in Northern Ireland in 4 months.
We have to try and turn them round in the space of maybe 12 to 15 weeks into a team that can rival a team that's been together for maybe 10 years of their life playing together. And potentially, if you show the right commitment, the right talent and the right desire, there'll be a couple of trips to Ireland on offer. But if you don't show that desire, we're not going to have you on the team.
The biggest thing we have to do is just set out a bonding session from the very start. We want a good, strong bonded team that, you know, we all work together as a chain. We can have no weak links whatsoever. And if we have weak links, they'll have to be tidied out.
Come on, Joe!
30 seconds to get rid of these gloves because they're not working in Gaelic football. Hence the reason we've so many drop balls. Also, you don't play football with a woolly hat, so get rid of them.
Maths teacher Brian Smith is a former captain of the Westmeath hurling team and also played Gaelic football at senior club level.
He's like the hard worker, like he's always pushing us to our best. He's kind of the scary one, I think. Like, you see how you have good cop, bad cop. I think he would be the bad cop.
We all have to start again. You think I can't see I'm aware of everything? We're going again. What?
Well, when I came here first, the interview lasted about half an hour. And to be honest, all we did for that half hour was talk about sport, GAA. And I knew right from that very moment I could see the love that Pat Winston had for the sport.
We're going to try and set up a game plan this year to play to our strengths, whereas in Ireland, the boys, their strengths might be their technique, and they can play a certain system. We're going to try and develop a certain system that will play to our strengths. So we will definitely have more pace in individuals in our team than any of the teams will have in Ireland. What's the hospital pass?
Don't give a man a 50-50 ball. A ball up there is no good to any man. He wants it in his chest. You'll get cut open. You'll get an injury. If you don't have a pass on, don't give it at all. Take your steps. Do you understand? Right, let's go. Ready, play.
Gaelic football is a national obsession in Ireland. Each team of 15 players can score by putting the ball into the goal for 3 points or over the crossbar for 1 point. Players can kick the ball or hand pass it by hitting it with their fist or open hand. The All-Ireland Championship Gaelic football matches at Dublin's Croke Park can attract crowds of over 80,000 people to watch their county teams go into battle. In London, the sport is traditionally played by Irish immigrants who learn the game at an early age. By contrast, the boys at St Paul's are starting from scratch.
You pretty much straight away, after the first session, you know what you're working with. If we work hard here with these fellas, keep them together, that they could definitely go and achieve something special.
Hands in for St Paul's, please. 1, 2, 3. St Paul's!
Ozamidi Eghagi lives 5 miles from St Paul's on the far side of Woolwich.
Well, normally I set my alarm to about 6:30. If I leave around 7:20, I'll get to school around 7:45 to 50. So I get 2 buses to school. It is a long journey, but it's all worth it because, like, in my family, we think of it as a family school because all of my brothers and sisters have went there.
To be honest, I know nothing about Gaelic. So when he came home and he told me, oh, Mom, I've been put through this election. And I was like, what is Gaelic? He said, oh, it's another type of football.
I like to think of it as a mixture of, like, rugby, basketball, and football.
The occasions he clashed with his regular football. And I'll be like, Samide, which one would you like to choose? Say, Mom, I have to go to Gaelic because I enjoy it. I've got all my friends there and we've got this competition coming up. And I realized that Samide actually loves Gaelic.
It's a new sport and it's different. You can pick up the ball, you can use your hands, you can run with it.
When you're playing a sport like this, the players like these, like, it's amazing. The difficulty, the challenge that it brings.
We're all fighting for places. We want to get on that team sheet to go to Ireland because that's the best opportunity we're going to get.
Just Gaelic is like a different sport. I like doing different sports.
Victor's been involved with the Gaelic football for the last 3 or 4 years. He's not always been the most well-behaved in the school, but I always seem to have a good relationship with him. So we felt that maybe pushing him towards more leadership, giving him an opportunity to be more involved in the team, would give him that self-worth that, you know, he was going to amount to something in this team.
Victor's going to say a few words, because I think Victor's a good leader in this group, and I want you to take on board what he says and what he thinks we need to be doing today.
It's going to be hard to make the team anyways. We have many players from different schools that want to be in this team, and they want to make it. So if you don't want to be here, they can go.
But he'll be a leader within this group. He's one of the older boys. A lot of the younger lads just coming into the squad will look up to him. He's very fast, he's technically good, and he's got experience, which is, above all else, the most important thing that we can look to a leader to have.
Victor came back one day from school. He said, Dad, I'm playing Gaelic football. I said, what? I said, Gaelic football. I said, you know, it's a very tough game, and it's not a game for a black kid to play. He said, Dad, he says, I'm playing Gaelic football.
I was scared at first, but I don't like rugby. So I was thinking Gaelic is like rugby. I said, no, you are not, look at you, you are not fat. He said, oh, he said, Mom, he said, I'm rugged, I'm wicked in the field. I love that game. And I said, okay. He even said he was going to relocate to Ireland. So
yeah, he told me.
He
said, Dad, can move to Ireland. I said, what? Because of Gaelic football.
Today is the team's first competitive game. They're playing Tara GAA Club, which means a 55-mile round trip to the far side of London.
Big game, massive game, you know. Want to be setting out your stall from the very start. I believe in winning every game. You want to be blooding the guys, and you know, you want to get them winning every match.
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm still excited and pumped because I'm ready for the game.
But there's someone missing. Victor Ozobia has been suspended from school for misbehaviour, which means he has lost his place on the team.
Yeah, Victor's not here today. Obviously, he's suspended from school. So, because of what he's been involved in, we decided to leave him out today, just to sort of get him back in line with what is expected of him.
Victor's a big loss, but he has to learn from his mistakes. We don't promote poor behaviour, so he's not brought today. That's the bottom line.
I didn't play the first match. It was a team that I always wanted to stay with, and every single match they had, I wanted to be there. When I just wasn't connected with them anymore, I couldn't even say what I felt.
I think he was more disappointed himself. You have to probably make mistakes to realise where you're going wrong and how to change things. He let his team down that day.
It's kind of like a downer because he's one of our best players, so it's kind of hard losing our best players on our first game, but we could still carry on without him.
Taras are a side of skilled footballers who've been playing the game for years. Getting a result here would be a big psychological milestone for the St. Paul's boys.
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
The North Londoners proved to be tough opposition. In the second half, a controversial penalty puts the South Londoners in front. But in the last minute, Tara score a goal and the game ends in stalemate.
Here, lads, hold your heads up. Come on, there are lots of positives.
I was kind of angry and disappointed because we wanted to win, but we still got a draw, so we're okay with that.
Right, I'm very proud of the fact we managed to scrape a draw today, okay? But from the next day on, it's going to be win, win, win.
We miss Victor, well, he's one of our best players, but we got on well without him, so like, next match, we know he'll be there.
It was a disappointing result because there was so much promise going into that game. Because you always say the first 6 weeks, you realise what you're all about, and we felt that we had a good team, but we didn't perform that day at all, and I felt that, are we really this good, or do we think we're good enough? And I suppose after that day, there were doubts that maybe we're not going to be that good.
Tragedy comes to South East London. The brutal murder of drummer Lee Rigby in the centre of nearby Woolwich sends shockwaves through the local community.
What happened in Woolwich? It was a terrorist attack. Like, I've never heard something like that before. Like, when you think about terrorist attack, you think about it like in America. But I never think you have a terrorist attack in London, seriously. Now everyone's so scared to go into Woolwich. My mum, she doesn't want to go to Woolwich to collect some stuff. I don't blame her. I would.
You just have to walk down to the local area, Abbeywood, and you see there's people drinking in the middle of the day on the street with their cans, and there's all kinds of violence going on down there. It's a very tough area.
We had a boy a few years ago and he was involved in all sorts of trouble at school. He actually was stabbed and turned his life around, in my opinion. He's now studying for his A-levels at sixth form college. Gaelic football was the thing that turned Josh around and gave him a focus in his life.
The most challenging thing is dealing with unsupportive parents. Once you have a supportive parent, you're moving in the right direction.
I'm not at all Irish. In fact, I'm half Greek and half English. So I didn't know anything about the game, never even heard of the game before I came to the school in year 7.
Francis comes here, he go and do over there, you see the pillar there, the potatoes over there. He said he liked it, he wants to carry on playing Gaelic football. So if he wants to do that, we help him what we can to carry on.
Francis's namesake, his Greek Cypriot grandfather Frank, is a well-known character in Abbeywood. And his parents Sylvia and Alan run the newsagent next door.
Keeps them off the streets, really, and that's what we're interested in.
I think even just to say that Francis represents the school is just a nice thing, or South London. It's just nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something to be proud of, really. You know.
And he should be proud of it himself, actually.
To tell you the truth, he's driving us mad because it's training this and training that, and it's the distances. Nothing's on the doorstep.
There's no local games, I don't think, is there really?
So...
Every ball counts. You must take your time, work it into a shooting place. Go on.
Right, go on. Be a time to move.
They've seen me play a few times. They push me forward, like, he'll tell me what to do, when to do it, so that helps.
Look at these kids, how many they start, yeah? They say, oh, he's good, he's good, he's good. At the end of it, it drops off, yeah? And because they get carried away with other kids and they live what they like to do, they don't do it. Mix with bad companies. Especially around here, there's a lot of bad boys, so, yeah.
If he does get selected to go to Ireland, I have said to Alan maybe he may want to go, and Francis has actually told us that he doesn't want any of us to go. If they say to him he's not going, we won't hear the last of it.
Since February, the coaching staff at St Paul's Academy have been working hard to turn a group of novices into a Gaelic football team that can compete in the biggest under-14s competition of the year.
Don't start walking, it's even the balls with our goalkeeper and our fullback.
Now it's decision time.
He needs to give you 20 names tomorrow, Pat.
Principal Pat Winston has asked for a list of 20 names to be selected from the 35-man panel. These are the boys who will travel to Ireland for the Féile.
Said he wants his name 20 tonight.
As close to it.
As close to as possible.
Right, goals.
Luke.
Big Luke.
We haven't seen enough of him.
What's your options?
I'll throw you another option in, Francis Higgins. Another lad can catch, can kick. Is he good enough outfield? Don't know.
I'm going on Stephen.
So what about him? You're on about heights.
Hey, he won't jump much higher. Francis Higgins.
He will, and he'll catch him.
We'll put the two of them together in the next
I'd
night.
say he's probably taller than he
We'll
is.
put the two of those together the next night.
Stephen's taller than he
Stephen
is.
is as tall as him. So.
I'm telling you, you're not listening. Don't put Tim Couillet up
So what do you
against-
know? You're only an English lad.
You're right. All right, boys. Michael and Brian, they obviously think they know a small bit more about Gaelic games because they have an accent, but what people don't know is Michael was actually born in England and he was raised in Ireland. So he's probably just as English as I am Irish. So there's a good bit of banter goes around, but I don't think just because I grew up here means I know any less or know any more than the two lads.
What you do is you try you in full forward,
Against
then you
Joseph.
take him out. Yeah, then you take him out, then you try your other big man, Luke Nadine.
Absolutely, agree.
Well, lads, like, this is stuff that a schoolboy would know. Why are we talking about this? Why are we not gone? Come on. Holy Jesus. That's the toughest part of the job. And sitting down on the side, and you know, it's very tough because you know it's such a fantastic opportunity for the kids, and to tell them no is heartbreaking for some of them.
We want to win this competition. We need to be absolutely clinical in our choice, and we were.
One of the names in contention is Victor Azobia. The 13-year-old lives in nearby Thamesmead with his parents and his brother David.
After I was born, my older brother and my younger brother was born, we moved here. So we have a bigger house and more space. Because in the flat we only had I think a couple of bedrooms, 3. And there was only, we had 3 brothers. There was me, my brother and my cousin, my mom and my dad. So it was very small and cramped, so we had to move here to have some space. Thank you.
Joseph Azobia arrived from Nigeria in the 1980s to train as an engineer.
That's my dad. When he was young, that's when we just came to England. When he had a moustache and a big puffy hair. When he had the 80s look, kind of. He didn't know the style, when he got into England, so he just kept looking like that. And now you see he's changed now, and he looks more serious now. He's still a great dad still.
All this, they were all taken in Nigeria, all those ones. And this is me, my little ones, David and Victor. That's our savior, Jesus.
The Azobias maintain strong ties with home. Joseph recently returned to Nigeria to be made a village chief in an elaborate ceremony.
This is the most important thing as a chief that you hold in your hand. I know a lot of people, you can see from here, I've got feathers on my heart. But once you're a chief, you put a feather on it. And then with this, if you haven't got a feather in your heart, if you've got that with you, they know you're a chief.
Near the shops, near that roundabout. Yeah, I don't like going around there. Only if I go to my train, I take a bus and go. I don't like walking around there too much. There's a gang around there. That's why I don't associate with anyone over there. Just live my own life. Have nice friends around my neighborhood and everything. Hopefully, when I get older, move away from this area at least, go somewhere peaceful, and hopefully help my mum move around and my dad. I don't want them to stay here. Just when I get older, hopefully just buy them a house, they can move somewhere. Then they can relax, when they get into the old age.
I think Victor has learned his mistake, and ever since then He's been quiet in school, he does his own business, and that's it. For Victor to go to Ireland to play Gaelic football, he must know he's good. And thanks to all the teachers there, and they're kind of good bunch of teachers there anyway.
Now the Féile is just weeks away, and the boys are about to find out who's made the cut for the trip to Ireland.
Unfortunately, we have to do it. We have to bring the best 20 that we feel are going to have the best impact on the Féile. And unfortunately, you have to leave people out.
But we've gone with what we think, at the moment in time, is the best 20 boys here. I don't want anybody to make any remarks. There's no need for any comments. No particular order, just what I have on the list. Right, Victor Azobia, Benjamin Kudahimbu, Christopher Kudahimbu.
Yeah, as soon as I heard my name, I didn't, because you don't want to burst out and say yes. Inside of me, I was feeling so happy and joy. I was very happy and proud that I made it through the team.
Yeah, I feel very happy. Ireland, yeah, I've never been there before, and it's going to be a one-in-a-lifetime chance for me.
I think it'll be quite like Britain. Different accents.
One name that hasn't made the list of 20 is Francis Higgins.
I know the main people who were going to go Ireland. Like, it was mainly Victor, Benjamin, people who played as the captain. But I weren't sure about my place because there was a few more people in my role, so it was harder for me. So when I got told about the news, I was disappointed, but at the same time, I knew I'd done my best, so it was tough. It was tough.
I haven't unfortunately been able to meet the teachers, just to have a chat, wish them well. It's a case of, like I said, I think his mum and I are both more upset than him, or, gutted that he didn't make the team. But, as I said, there we go. Fingers crossed for next year.
My mum and dad were more disappointed than me because they wanted me to go Ireland more than I actually wanted to.
I said, just knuckle down, and you'll be another year older, another year wiser, another year stronger. And obviously you might be in that select 20 to go next year to represent the team if you're old enough and good enough.
Hopefully he realises that things like this do happen in life, that you don't always get what you want. But if you're willing to work hard and don't quit, that you can have other opportunities. So hopefully, that's what he's realised, and maybe his day will come.
For the team's 3 coaches, staying involved with Gaelic football is a precious reminder of home.
I do miss home. Sport at home, you're playing with lads you grew up with all your life. And it's totally different. Here, don't get me wrong, lads give their best, but it's difficult to have the same bond when it's guys just meeting up for the first time at the start of the year, February or March, and playing through till September. Playing at home, you're after growing up, you went to school with the lads, probably cycled to school with them, Training, it's the same bunch of lads, and that bond, there's nothing to come near it.
There's been occasions where I've been on the sideline coaching the team, and you've had the odd silly remark about you should know what you're doing because you've an English accent. But to be honest, I'd like to challenge anyone in terms of coaching ability. I think if you're a good coach, you can coach any sport as long as you're knowledgeable in that sport. And I've played Gaelic football since I was 8. You get the odd silly comment, but you get that in any walk of life, to be honest. So it's got to be water off a duck's back. If you react to that, then if you're losing your head on the sideline, it can react on the players. Dad is Irish. He was born in Kilkenny and moved to England when he was 18. And Mum's parents were both Irish. They're from Cork and Kerry.
That's my club team. We actually played a county championship final. These are all boys I would have grown up with around home. Well, actually, one of these boys has gone on actually to represent the Tyrone team and won an All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. So. And then the following year we actually managed to get to the final again, only this time we were on the better end of the result. We won by a point. So that was a good day. I was born in London myself. I was actually born in Barking. My mother and father both, emigrated from Ireland, came over here to find work, pretty similar to my own situation today. And I think it was when I was 10 years of age, moved back to Ireland and fell in love with Gaelic football. And as soon as I came back, we've been living together now for three years. But even before that, we've always been quite close. I think it's more to do with coming over from Ireland, been in a different country, I suppose, and both been teachers, and having a link in terms of we both had the same interests, so we were both into sport. It sort of went from there. But yeah, we certainly we don't agree on everything. But living together is interesting.
Lovely place. Well, the problem is Michael is OCD and everything has to be perfect. Just look at the DVDs there, the way it have to be lined up, and the cutlery. I know, he's
I have a little problem. Yeah.
On a Saturday morning when you're expecting to have a lie-in after being up at 6:30 all during the week and the Hoover goes at 8:30, you're like, oh dear God, Michael, what in the name of God are you doing to me?
It wouldn't be that early.
The coaching staff have just heard who their Féile opponents will be. Only one team can qualify from their 4-team group. First, the Londoners will play local outfits Limavady and Derry. But it's Enniskillen girls that catch the eye.
I'd say it will be between ourselves and Enniskillen Gales who will come out of the group. We had a look at Enniskillen's website there earlier on. They're obviously a very good team to have won their county. You have to beat.
But they're small lads.
Probably Enniskillen Gales will be our last game of the group. If that's the case, it'll come down to whoever wins that game will go through. That's how I would see it.
The Enniskillen Gales team have played together for 5 years and will be tough, experienced opponents.
We went undefeated in under 10. We moved up to under 12s. We've been undefeated in under 12. This year we've went undefeated. We've won the championship quite convincingly, and now we're in the league final as well. We've been undefeated all season. We're probably a record maybe of up onto 20 games this season, undefeated.
They've been coached since they were 6-7 years of age, so they've had good 7 years of coaching. Some senior county teams in Ireland would be over the moon to play the style of football these boys play. You know, they're close control, they're early ball, the way they play off each other, and that's down to the coaching, you know, so the coaching and the management have to take credit for that.
We have won everything. We have won the league already by very comfortable margins. In the finals, obviously. Beat everybody out of sight. Score lines of 10, 25 to a couple of points. So we don't know whether we're good enough or everybody's just not as good. We don't know. We'll not know that till we go to the Féile and find out.
Right, boys. Jim was on the last team that won a Féile in 1994. Ian has his medal and all with him here, so he's got all the rewards here.
At the end of the day, lads, it's worth a great reward. And that's the Ireland Féile medal, if you just want to pass that round and have a look at it.
Not some good detail,
We're going there to win. That's the bottom line. We're going to give it everything. And I think the lads have done a fantastic job. And I'm telling you, Victor will be one of our top players in Ireland. He has it naturally. And we have the head right. We just have to keep him right though. But it's very easy to go back to fall into old habits. So we have to keep him focused and keep him tuned in.
Now the final squad has been assembled. The strongest players from 2 other London clubs, Thomas McCurtains and Round Towers, have joined up with the St Paul's boys. Best players from these 3 clubs have been combined to make up the South London squad for the Féile competition. Next stop, Derry. The South London team are on their way to Ireland to compete in the Féile, the biggest youth Gaelic football competition of the year. After 4 months of training, this is where they'll find out if their hard work has paid off. The boys are staying with the families of the Wolfhounds Gaelic Football Club in Limavady in County Londonderry.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say, obviously sports brings us here, but you can see we have a fine, rich, ethnically diverse group here, and it is also about finding out about Ireland. And they really look forward to making new friendships, to actually meet families here in County Derry.
We're looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Are there any dogs in the house?
No, we're all right. He's already laid the groundwork there. We're good. We're good. No dogs.
Can you get a dog for the weekend? Get a lend one.
We might bring one down to the pitch tomorrow before he heads out.
Before the competition begins, the squad travel into Derry City to meet the other teams. Féile Peil, or Festival of Youth Football, is one of the biggest events in the Gaelic Games calendar. The Féile is a gathering of under-14 footballers from all 32 counties of Ireland and beyond. On the eve of the competition, all the teams gather in Derry Celtic Park before parading through the city to the historic Guildhall.
Féile was a massive part of my childhood, which is why I was delighted to be involved with and try and give the kids some of that feeling that I had when I was growing up.
It's every young boy's dream to get to have Féile, to represent their county, and then having the chance of coming away with some silverware at the end of it.
For Coach Brian Smith, a win at the Féile would have special personal significance.
Never won it as a kid, no.
Would you welcome the South London Féile team of 2013?
The parade was lovely. We got to walk with our banner for our whole team, singing songs, shouting out stuff. People in Derry that really love South London, when they saw us, they'll start cheering.
Don't give away cheap possession of free kicks by not picking up the ball correctly. Go down to the ball and win it. Go down and get your time to the ball. Be a man out there. Believe in yourself. So from the minute we step out of this dressing room, there's no talking. There's no wisecracks. The only talking is calling for the ball. Your focus is on the game. We are here to win an All-Ireland.
Unfortunately, the weather conditions is not fantastic. The surface behind us is very slippery. There's a few puddles on the pitch as well. So that's something the lads haven't played in before. So we've told them not to bounce the ball at any stage in this game, because if they try and bounce the ball on that surface, it'll run away from them.
What I think is quite often the performance is much more important than what the score says. At the minute, the performance is nowhere near what it should be. We said to you before the game, don't bounce the ball on a wet pitch. And the last one, Victor, I promise you, look at me. If you argue with the referee one more time, don't, you're coming off. I promise, you'll be here.
So it's true, you never said.
I never said anything.
Listen, don't say nothing to the referee. We keep our mouths closed, otherwise we lose our discipline. You're not trying to scare anyone. You're just trying to get them to work harder. But at the end of the day, what we want from them is their best. Raising your voice a little bit, give them, as Alex Ferguson called it, the hairdryer treatment, can get that little bit extra out of them.
Pulling shirts. That's not disciplined tackling. That's lazy tackling.
I mean, I know I was someone that if you told me at half-time that I was playing rubbish, I'd certainly go out second half and try and prove you wrong.
Okay, boys, best of luck.
Come on, heads up, come on. Come on. Who's going to help him?
In the end, the Londoners get off to a strong start. They beat their hosts, Limavady Wolfhounds, convincingly with a scoreline of 6 goals and 7 points to 2 goals and a point. Next is the other Derry club, Derry Trasna, who they also beat with ease, scoring 4 goals and 9 points to their 1 goal and 3 points. But their next opponents are a different proposition.
You can't have any regrets, boys. Remember, if your team has not got the ball, what are you? You're a defender.
Come on, boys.
You're a defender. You
Come
gotta
on.
work your balls off. You gotta
Everyone.
try and tackle. Get in there and help out your teammates. Come on, Danny, come on. Let's go. Come on.
Nervous? Listen, they're well prepared. We've had 2 games, so I suppose the biggest worry is they haven't taken enough scores. I mean, that last game didn't score enough. And they're not going to have as much possession against these boys. They're going to be handy. We find ourselves in trouble.
Ball, grip up. Good boy, Enoch, come on. I said he wasn't a cornerback. He's not a cornerback. What is he? He's a wing back and he's a half. Calm down. We'll lose the game.
There's a minute in there.
I don't care. He'll score another one. Watch. We'll leave him there. Jesus Christ.
Hot heads inside, that's for sure.
I don't like losing, and I'm telling you.
Do you think I like losing?
Give the ball!
Shut up, man.
Good. Hold it. Keep
Relax.
your chins up. Keep your chins up. God's sake.
That's you, Paddy.
Enniskillen and Gales were lads that had been playing, obviously, they were introduced to it at a very young age, and they hadn't lost a game. That was a very tough test.
It's no score. We're starting again from afresh, and we have to work our ass. You have to work, till you grind them into the ground, till they say, this team, we're not going to come back from it.
And boys, you've 20 minutes till you're in an All-Ireland semi-final if you get it right.
And I want to send these packing boys. They're a disgrace. You focus on your football. Let them worry about themselves.
Despite the coach's half-time team talk, Enniskillen roar back into the game.
I close my eyes at night time and I can still visualise parts of the 40 minutes against Enniskillen Gaels.
Then a goalkeeping blunder gives Enniskillen the lead.
Young Will, bend your back!
After being in the lead for most of the game, the Londoners are just 2 minutes away from going home with nothing.
Oh, it was a real nail-biter. I remember the last, we were a couple of points down, with about 5 to go, and it was nerve-wracking stuff.
You have it now? Yes, boys! Hands up! There. Yes, Victor! On your back! Come on, Victor!
Yes! Yes! Come on, boys, again! Come on! Last few seconds, boys! Go, Ethan! Yes!
We're going to the semi-final.
It was a great feeling on the sideline at the end of it. The heart was pumping, you know, like nothing that I'd experienced for a while.
That really showed the qualities that we have and the hard work that we had put in, and against absolutely quality opposition, because I'm sure the Enniskillen Gaels were thinking when they were playing us, right, this is the third game, we'll be winning this competition.
The match was so intense and dramatic. 1 minute we were up, then they were down, then they were up, then we were down. So everyone was kind of torn.
Without a doubt, be the best game of football played this weekend. Don't be disheartened, lads. Honestly. I know you're all teary-eyed and all now at the minute. I'm teary-eyed myself.
I put a lot of work into this team. Cyril came along and helped there at the end, you know what I mean? I'm disappointed, you know? I'm pleased for the lads of the performance, but the defeat, obviously, I'm not pleased. You know what I mean? Disappointed for the lads.
Listen, look, you came good, and we've some nutcases on the team. You're a Luke. You are Mike Tyson II. But freak me then at the end when we're having a celebration. Who's the peacemaker over Enniskillen Gaels? Victor. And that says something. He's grown up. He's actually learned to keep his head in the game. He done well.
Ozamidi and Enoch are enjoying the Derry hospitality, although hammering the host team has made the atmosphere a little awkward.
That was good for us and kind of bad for them. So like, when we got home, it was kind of weird being beat because we just beat them.
So it was kind of awkward in the house on a Friday night. But like when we aren't playing Gaelic, we're just playing ping pong and the PlayStation and stuff. It's been good crack. South London, our team are great. They've got so much speed and you just can't catch up with them. 1 minute they're beside you and the next minute there's 30 yards in front of you.
They're really nice boys, and it's a shame that it's, you know, such a short visit.
This is to say thank you for letting us.
Oh, thank you so much. It'd be nice to have them just for a few days to take them around and show them our countryside.
We promised our coach that if he lets me and Enoch stay together, we'll win the Féile for him. So now we have to pay him back by winning the Féile.
I'm doing something we love, having fun, and hopefully we can win this and then go back with some silver back to school.
After their epic victory over Enniskillen Gaels, the boys' confidence is sky high. Their semi-final opponents are St Lomans from Mullingar in County Westmeath.
Boys, this is here for the taking now. It's how bad you want it. How bad you want it. Some of you are a little bit sore, whatever, everything else. Pain is temporary. Pain is temporary. Success lasts forever.
And South London take no prisoners. The semi-final eventually finishes 2 goals and 2 points for St Lomans to South London's 7 goals and 12 points.
Yes!
The team now travel to Owenberg near Dungiven for the Division 4 final. All the hard work, commitment and sweat since they first gathered as a group 4 months earlier has been leading up to this day. Now only Enna Steinman from Clare, who were last year's Division 5 champions, stand between South London and the ultimate prize.
You focus in on him. Your job is to stop him playing football. If you stop him playing football, with the help of Victor, we will win this game. Victor, I'm so proud of you. The way you've kept your discipline throughout the last few games has been amazing. That last game, you played out of your skin. You've got to do it again.
We all know our roles and responsibilities. We all know what we have to do. You've done it in the past, you've done it in all the games. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You're a great bunch of lads. You've listened to everything we said. You took everything on board. And that's the reason we're here today. Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Get it, put him down!
Boys, you're so close to it. You're so close. You're knocking on the door now. 20 minutes away from being All-Ireland champions.
Good lad, no foul, no foul.
Once again, the opposition are experienced Gaelic footballers. But in the second half, the power and athleticism of South London starts to make a difference. In the end, the Londoners romp home, scoring 2 goals and 10 points to Enna Steinman's single goal to win the Féile's Division 4 title.
These lads never believed us how big it could be. I think they realise now what we were on about. Absolutely magnificent. I can't believe
It was a great day for us.
Yeah.
I think this whole weekend has been a great experience. I think we'll take this memory to our grave because it's a great day.